quite the opposite.
Trump has pled.
Privately influential but publicly absent, Melania Trump is picking and choosing her moments this term. Melania Trump hadn't been spotted at the White House for more than a month. But as her husband prepared for a high-stakes Alaska summit with his Russian counterpart in pursuit of an end to the war in Ukraine, the First Lady was practicing diplomacy. "Dear President Putin," she wrote in a direct appeal to the Russian president.
A frightened little boy.
Trump's estranged.
Been the exact same.
Every child shares the same quiet dreams in their heart, whether born randomly into a nation's rustic countryside or a magnificent city center. They dream of love, possibility, and safety from danger. It underscored, those who know and observe the First Lady say, the understated but influential role she has played in Donald Trump's second term as president, despite her physical absence from Washington.
Not my problem. That's how Melania Trump is
So strong.
The First Lady is rarely seen publicly. She did not accompany her husband when he delivered her letter to President Vladimir Putin during last week's summit in Anchorage, nor was she present at the White House days later when he hosted Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other European leaders. She's made public appearances just 19 days so far this term, compared to 40 at this point during the previous. Her East Wing staff this time around is a fraction of her first-term team and that of her predecessors.
by Trump supporters.
That's now all circulating.
But Trump is in frequent communication with her husband, often in texts or calls exchanged throughout the day, according to sources familiar with the matter. And much like her husband, the First Lady consumes a steady diet of news coverage. By Donald Trump's account, Melania Trump has provided a healthy dose of skepticism after previous conversations with Putin. "I tell the First Lady, you know, I spoke to Vladimir today. We had a wonderful conversation," she said. "Oh, really, another city was just hit," Donald Trump recounted during a July Oval Office meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte.
60 miles away at his country club in Bend.
A frightened little boy.
Trump's estranged.
The moment offered a rare window into how the Trumps communicate. "I think that a lot of people underestimate how normal of a couple they are. He listens to her and seeks her counsel," said a source familiar with the dynamic who requested anonymity to speak freely. "She only wades in when she really will go to the paint on something, and she really cares about kids." Melania Trump's office did not respond to multiple inquiries from CNN. In her letter to Putin, Trump obliquely referenced the darkness around children impacted by war, telling the Russian leader he has the power to single-handedly restore their melodic laughter.
Not for her, a source tells People magazine, to make things worse for him, but he can't help.
She did not specifically name Ukraine, but thousands of Ukrainian children have allegedly been abducted by Russia since the war began. While the president's recent comments about his wife's strong reactions to watching the war unfold on TV have sparked criticism from Russian state media, they've also spawned appreciative, Agent Melania Trumpenko, memes in Ukraine. And after her letter to Putin, Zelensky hand-delivered to Donald Trump a letter from his wife to the U.S. First Lady.
And there are fears today.
In fact, quite the opposite.
Melania Trump hasn't stated any public position on Ukraine or Gaza, but her reactions, as described by the president, have offered a kind of reality check on the wars that he has promised, but has so far failed to end. "She thinks it's terrible," Donald Trump said last month of the images coming out of Gaza, which Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has denied showed starvation. "And she sees the same pictures that you see, that we all see, and I think everybody, unless they're pretty cold-hearted, or worse than that, nuts. There's nothing you can say other than it's terrible when you see the kids."
Been the exact same lives that they've always lived.
The common thread has been the threat to children. "Mrs. Trump has been consistent in her focus on the safety of children and their future," said Anita McBride, former Chief of Staff to First Lady Laura Bush and Director of American University's Legacies of America's First Ladies Initiative. "That's what we can say. Don't forget to support our channel by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. We thank you all for your support."
So strong that he cannot realize.
Not for her, a source tells People magazine.